Hello, we are Shed Life. This is Talking Sheds podcast, episode number 3, where we talk about music we like, and we like Delta Sleep.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Delta Sleep.
Great trumpet playing, Eric.
Oh,
That
thank
introduction.
you. Thank you. That's our new intro.
I'm Joe.
That's not copyright.
I'm sorry,
Joe.
Sean. I love you.
I love you. This week, we're going to talk about the brand new Delta Sleep record called Spring Island. And
The man to my left is named Sean.
the man in the middle of me and John is named Evan.
And John is on the left.
Opposite to Eric.
Sounds like a terrible word problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
John.
if John had 3
How many
sisters,
apples?
What do we think, guys? I mean, overall, what do we think?
Overall, it was
Al-
great,
already?
but we should start with Waterfall.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I thought it was good.
I thought it was phenomenal.
They released this album this year. They did that.
That getting cut.
When this
Fuck
year?
you. I can talk.
I think it was really good. It was my first Delta Sleep. And
album
I
is
enjoyed
called
it.
Spring Island.
I already said that.
Oh.
That's Joe.
And the first song is called Waterfall.
First song is called Waterfall. I was just going to say, before we got into it, that I think that there's a lot of thematic consistency
Yes.
throughout the album. I think that there are I think that more than the last two that we listened to, or in the similar vein as Car Crash, but maybe a little bit more, Crawler. This, it's very consistent, tight, polished. Like, it is a package of music in a way that, like, you know, for example, Music to Practice Safe Sex is not.
yeah, it's like a concept album.
It's very consistent.
Yeah. The
Yes.
fact that the first and the last song are like
Oh,
kinda
man.
together in a way.
I love that. They
Kinda
were,
looped it.
Circles around like
Yeah.
Igor, dude, like some Tyler the Creator shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was
like
the
it-
first.
Or Goblet. Igor, not
Definitely
Goblet,
had
Igor.
some Tyler influence on this record.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Tyler the
I can hear
Creator.
Tron Cat through the whole thing.
Tyler the Creator invented concept albums.
It's actually true.
That's why I said it. I wouldn't have said it otherwise.
He's an industry plant.
So the first song is called Waterfall.
Yeah.
I love, there's those like bit crushy fucking
Yes.
like doo 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 boop 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 sounds the whole time.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick as heck.
Little
It's
casino slot machine
I-
sounds. That's what I got out of
I
it.
love how dissonant a lot of the harmony is in the like later half of that song, because it doesn't sound ugly. It sounds very pretty. It's almost like you don't realize until you like hone into like the specific instruments how ugly what they're playing is, but together it makes a nice pretty whole. And then like I'm not sure if it's the very end of that song or the beginning of the detail, but the little like weird audio or like
sounds like a
vocal
synth song.
sample.
yeah, it starts wailing.
Yeah.
It starts
It's cool.
wailing. Yeah.
It's cool. I liked it. I like the sounds.
The last song comes in with that. It's like,
Yep.
Yeah, and then
yeah, it's super cool.
I like
There's
that.
sounds, so many noises, like so many, little bleepy delay sounds and freaking washed out little synth sounds and stuff that you can't tell what the heck is going on. Elephant elephant
Yeah.
sounds,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like right. It's what it sounds.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
and then like I like how this song starts to really introduce like some of the main themes of this album. Like I feel like isolation is a big lyrical
Yeah.
theme in this album, and it's kind of
Yeah.
introduced in this first song.
Yes.
Or like
Calculating.
loneliness.
The house,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does a very good job at bringing you to the world that this album is set in.
Paints a good picture.
Which
and in a minute and a half too, or
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's quick.
which leads us into the second song, The Detail.
Such a good
I'm gonna
song.
say this about 1,000 times tonight, but hock it. When you go back and forth between the two guitars, it is the coolest thing ever. It starts with
It is
just
a
the
sick
upbeat,
intro.
right? But you can't even really tell it's the offbeat because there's no
There's nothing
context
else.
to it.
Yeah, there's no context.
And then it sneaks in the other guitar on the downbeat that comes in with the drums, so you know it's the
I
fucking
still haven't
downbeat.
figured it out. Like I tried to get
There's-
like right
Yeah.
through it.
There's so much like 2 against 3 too.
The whole
It's-
album is 2 against 3.
Yes, that's
Hemiola, another
Yeah.
key word. Yeah.
yeah. I love all the rhythms across this album, but in the detail, that's kind of where, I mean, it's Delta Sleep. You know, it's gonna be mathy, But you don't really get that in the first song. The detail, it just goes right into like, all right, the first song was nice and atmospheric and ambient. Here's math.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I like
the
it.
constant, like, the cymbals are doing the duple over the triple the whole time. But
And it's catchy too.
Yes.
It's really
I love
catchy.
the breakdown at the end. It just has the whole song, and then it goes into a breakdown.
Yeah.
The whole last section.
I love,
really love that part.
I love the after the chorus where you get that da 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 da, like all these like really like these stuttered rhythms, which is
they
also
skip the downbeat all the time,
Yeah.
so you don't. It's very cool.
It's
Coming
so
in wrong.
confusing.
I love the chorus in this too, the singing.
Yeah, this is my favorite song probably
Yeah.
with the.
We're jumping ahead. there, buddy.
It was up there. This was one of the singles, and it was my favorite single. when I
Yeah,
was
because
like
it's
that,
just
but-
so catchy. Like the chorus of it is just so. It sounds so great.
And you don't expect the
A lot
drums
of the
to come
choruses
in.
are fucking awesome
Yeah.
on this record.
You
Yeah,
don't
they
expect
really
the
hooked
drums to come in with like a shuffle.
Yeah,
Like-
dude. But it's like
I
a
don't know
Hemiola,
why
like 2/3 shuffle. It's sick. I'll try to later down. I'll figure it out. But yeah, and
We
then
got
the
boots, too.
lyrics are talking about being lost and all that too. It's thematically
I
consistent.
think
like
that the lyrics in this one kind of is more like this is really where it's kind of opening up to the more deep stuff in this record because
not knowing what the future holds
Yes.
and feeling
Yeah.
lost.
yes,
and
because after this
direction.
song, I feel like the lyrics take a way dark turn. Like you have like the talk about getting lost and everything, but then you've got like some really cosmic level of like dread coming from the later like songs, like talking about like the going into the sun and everything like that. It's just
yeah, which we'll get to because I got thoughts about that too.
Which leads us to our next song, View to a Fill.
Oh, the riff in this fucking song, they're like. How
would you describe that riff with words and not ba-da-ba-dums?
I
Wait.
love
That's
all
not
the
what we do here.
stops
We make boop
in
bops.
this. I love all the stops that they throw
have the
into it.
ability to cut off together. It's like Taramellos. It's very like reminiscent of the Taramellos where they can do all this crazy stuff, be all over the place, and then cut off just on a dime, like all together, right off. Their note lengths are very consistent throughout the band. It's
But
phenomenal.
these riffs are catchy too. That's the thing. Like they're complex, they're hard to understand, but I'm still humming along to them and
Beat your head and like
yeah.
all that. Yeah.
I do feel like this is more of a general statement. They could have reused is not the right word, but along those lines, like they could have gone back to certain ideas within a few of the songs that would have made it a little more.
I think they have a way.
I just
kinda
felt like sometimes it was too much. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think they have a way, kind of like I mean, we shouldn't really mention them, but like kind of like how Jank would do. They would have the chorus that was only 4 bars long or 8 bars long, but they would do it 100 times in the song. But every time they played it, it would have one time the guitar is playing chords, but they're held out. The next time he's strumming the chords and they're changing. The next time he's playing the vocal line with the vocals. The next time it's like every time it's different. The drums change.
Yeah.
And so like they might. They might play the chorus again, but all of a sudden it's got the guitar part from the bridge underneath it, and it makes the chorus slap in a totally different way. That happened.
I said this about Pool Kids last week, but I love like the unpredictability in their song structures. To me, that's very engaging. Like to go back to the detail, like when you're in the verse, but then you just get like these hits that are kind of like driving along, and you're kind of confused, like if this is still even the verse, and then it's
That's
back
the
to
part I
like the
don't
verse riff.
yeah, that's exactly what.
And that's why it's hard to
love.
write music with this group.
I think once you get it though, it flows.
It
Like,
definitely flows. The whole thing flows beautifully together.
Even this
It's just-
this song has a sick breakdown part at the end too. Just the way they his voice like melts into it, which I love.
he has a really good voice, by
I
the
don't know
way.
how
Yeah,
the
he has a
lyric
really good
says,
voice.
And you
but
get-
it goes right into it. And it's just so cool.
And you get that kind of like guitar, like almost like an ostinato, like that cool rhythmic pattern underneath the lead that's going. And yeah, it's sexy. Yeah, dude, it's fucking
oh,
sick.
it's so awesome.
and then something like comes back on like the other side of it, like you're just talking about like
Yeah, yeah.
The
And
like
then there's,
hock it,
Yes,
yeah.
the hock it part right there too.
Great mixing on this record. I love the way they bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It sounds
bouncing.
better than anything else they've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very clear. The guitars are crisp. The drums are fucking huge. It sounds like
Vocals
it's
are crisp.
and it sounds
Everybody's
like it's
saying.
on this like fucking mystical island that he's painting. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's fucking cool, man.
The next song after View to Fill would be Planet Fantastic.
Yep.
I love your narration.
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep like the tracks.
this one is kind of where I was talking about, like
The
where
drums.
I just get like a sense of like cosmic horror from this album at this point, where it's just like,
I get taken by that little hi-hat groove he does.
This song's awesome.
Define cosmic horror.
just like it's like talking about like our inevitable end and
Yeah,
just
like
like
falling
the,
into nothing. Like
Yeah.
this whole record has like a spinning. Into
Yeah, but that's just
Spun,
nihilism.
he keeps saying Spun.
Spun is
I feel like that's just very nihilistic.
Spun is
I don't
the
know if
most
it was
descriptive song.
I don't
of
think
it
that.
ever.
Well, but he uses that word spun
all throughout
over
it,
and over again, yeah.
I hear it throughout the whole record.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say the existential dread's more of a nihilistic perspective of
well,
things?
it would be
Well,
nihilistic if
if-
he was presenting it and he didn't seem to care, but it's
But he
Yeah.
does care. So
No,
then
he
that
definitely
makes,
cares.
Then that makes
Like,
sense. Yeah,
That's why
okay.
he's so worried.
If
Fair enough.
nihilistic would be more like God's dead and we're all gonna die.
What's the one where he's talking about
Yeah,
like
that's true. Okay, fair enough.
he's like, is this the one where he's talking about like the world falling the fuck apart? But he's like, we'll just like roll a little green.
Yeah,
or, like,
this
smoke
one's
this
like
green or whatever.
the vibe of this I get is like we might die and we don't want to.
Yeah, I like the way he comes into this song. It's like my favorite vocal intro. Just excuse me.
Oh, I love
yeah.
that part. I love that. It's so it grabs your attention. He says it
yeah.
so like reserved.
Yeah.
And this
Did
is
anybody get like Mark Hoppus vibes from this guy? Like almost
A
just in
little
his
bit.
tone.
oh,
Yeah.
I hear like a jazzy tone. Like I think there's a couple of songs, especially with their older stuff, where he would pick like really jazzy sounding note choices and just like that round vocal structure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always felt
Some of his I agree with that. Some of the melodies he sings are very jazzy, and I like the harmony.
yeah. I think he has a cool way of doing that. It's definitely not anything I would ever write. You know. Also, this is a prime point of where one of the things they do a bunch throughout the whole record is that like stab delay where it's just that like one shot and then it's like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I think that's another thing that Terra Mellis does that they also and yeah, I freaking love it all over the place where they'll just like accent things with that like quick repeated delay.
There's a lot of cool effects on this album,
And
and
they're-
they're tasteful.
And
They're very tasteful.
They fit the song and they're also like consistent throughout the record. Like,
Like-
it's another thing that is just like
I love
fucking
Terra
thematically
Melos.
consistent.
I love Terra Melos, but Terra Melos is very much over the top with effects. This is very kind of when you notice it, but you're not always going to
It's
notice
more
it.
subtle for sure.
Yeah.
It's more subtle.
Yeah,
And I like that.
they do very well.
Speaking of cool sounds, the next song has
Yeah, the
some
next
pretty
song
sweet
is
fucking
next
sound.
song is Forest Fire.
Oh, good. Yeah, I got you.
Pack the bowl.
Pack it up.
You son of a bitch.
Bittersweet love song.
No, Forest Fire. Oh, that's what you just.
Yeah. The transition out of Forest Fire is awesome. I don't know. It's
Like right into the next song.
Yeah,
is
yeah, the
really
way it
cool.
claps in.
The softest touch,
Yeah.
which is in the next song, but Forest Fire, but fucking sick song.
This one gave me Pink Floyd vibes.
I like Softest Touch a lot. I
like
like
how heavy
but it's not for a long time.
Well, I just
It's
like the
very
he just
res-
screams. It's the song that I heard he screams on. I'm
Yeah,
like,
in
I
the
like
end
it.
he
Yeah,
screams and it's sick and it sounds emotional and his screams sound really good.
his screams throughout sound good, and
He
they
goes
kind of
for
seem
it,
to
yeah.
come out of like he gets a little bit more aggressive, and then he hits a scream, and it's like a little out of nowhere. It's awesome. Yeah,
it's surprising.
exactly.
Every time it's surprising.
Shows his fucking range.
But like the first half of the song is probably like some of the more pretty and ambient, laid back, like Pink Floyd-esque kind of. You don't hear it as laid back throughout the record. You know, it kind of stands out to me, especially because like the two halves of the song are so different. The end is so heavy, and the beginning is so like melancholic and almost like you're floating on a cloud.
Interesting. So a cloud turned to thunderstorm.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Bet. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. Like confirmation. Conformate. Fuck, bro.
Not to toot the horn bell,
Where's that weed, John?
but
It's coming.
he's got a
We
hand
got
pick
no
it over
grinder,
there.
so yeah, I'm hand
I
picking.
think there's a little horn melody in there for what it's worth. It could be like a synth or just like a wacky guitar, but I really thought I heard some horns in there.
Oh, do you play
might be.
trumpet? Cool.
Which leads us to the next song, Old Soul.
This one's cute.
I like this one a lot.
This one like takes me
Wait.
back.
No, did we skip the softest touch or did we call?
We just
talked
talked
about it
that.
briefly.
Oh, that's the one with the cute smoking a joint line.
Don't make fun of me
I missed
earlier.
that whole part. I
You
zoned
missed
out
the
for a
whole
second.
part, brother.
All right, no, Old Soul's my favorite fucking song on the record.
Really?
Okay.
Oh yeah, dude.
Tell
Old
us
Song.
why.
It takes me back,
Also-
dude, like for some reason, to like my childhood.
Dude.
I don't know why.
So first off, it's that like 2/3 thing the whole time, which I frickin' love. And then like also it's got the shifting meter where like all of a sudden it'll just lose a beat. You're in 6,
Oh, it's
you're in
so
6, you're in 6,
confusing.
and then they pull in 5.
It's so confusing.
Well, it's just every
but
like 4. It
I
repeats
know,
pretty-
but
then
when you're
sometimes
listening
they
to
just
it the
don't do
first
it.
time,
Yeah.
it's like, what is going on? Like you're tapping,
It was
you're tapping
another
along,
single.
and then it's missing.
This one was a single as well.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
another one of them.
Yeah.
And this one,
The lighter now.
it's on the table. This one, listening to the listening to the album now, it makes me. It's my favorite. Like it was nice because it was familiar already, and then there was more to listen to in it, and it was
Yeah,
just
the
great.
context of
really
the whole
good.
album
Yeah.
actually like adds so much to it, like with the theming and everything.
Yeah, and then also like you were saying before, where they just sneak in like the really crazy harmonies. Like it sounds pretty, but then if you listen, there's like a freaking second that's clashing between the two guitars.
Yeah.
You know, bono.
There's so much
bono,
dissonance in this
Yeah, it's
song.
fucking awesome.
Like right at the
Chugging is
beginning
fucking
too.
Sweet.
Oh, dude.
I love the guitar.
That's
chugs.
what's crazy is that it doesn't have that much gain. It's not like this like metal sound. It's like
just
they're
so
playing
deep.
Tellies to a Fender, but then all of a sudden, all of a sudden it's fucking.
Oh.
It's there's so much fucking width to the sound. It's fucking girthy lady. Yeah. I don't know how they recorded. I don't know where they recorded, but
It sounds good.
it sounds phenomenal.
Sounds good. Which falls into the next good
We don't do
songs.
much research here.
We should
talking shit.
If you want us to do more research, let us know, because we're, we could do
you're
it.
even
We
listening, let
haven't.
us
We
know.
don't
we
want
probably
to.
should.
We could. I mean, just let us know, in the comments if you want us to do research.
if
which
you want
leads
us to
us-
know what we're talking
Do you
about.
want us to work harder? Which leads us to the next song, Dancing Music.
It's okay. It's kind of not much of a song. It's more noises, and it's kind of a transition right in the. It's like a breather.
It's an interlude.
Yeah, it's an interlude.
It's got like the little like heart rate sounds, like the little heart rate monitor sound or the beat.
Thank you.
It's got like a chorusy chanty thing.
Yeah,
that
it's hard
goes
to
on.
dance to.
What
but
do
that's
you do
okay.
with a drunken sailor?
I do think it transitions nicely into the next song though.
And then
Spun.
we get Spun. Yeah, Spun is the.
I feel like it's the song that explains the record. Like it has the most.
It's the culmination
theme in it.
of the theme
Yeah,
of that Spun
yeah.
out of control
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
It's like this is the.
It's like the climax.
I love Spun. I like in the middle. It's kind of has like some of the more what's the word I'm looking for, like digestible parts. Like right in the middle, you get this part that's almost like it sounds like it could have been like a Joy Division song. It's just in 4. The guitars are just playing pretty notes over the top. There's a lot of delay and reverb.
It's
and
very like it sounds like an indie song. It's like in 4 all of a sudden. Like everything
Yeah.
else seems to have been in some sort of a triple meter or shifting or something, and then this one's just in 4. But it's got like the offbeat choruses that like tss, 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 tss thing. I fucking love it.
I love Spun. I think it's definitely one of the easiest listens on the album.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing.
It's
I
also
think.
got, I think another thing that they do a lot just in general is like those like high 3-note repeating lines. And so like in 4, the 3-note thing sounds pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like the accent shifts in relation to
Yeah.
the beat. And that's pretty sweet.
They're
And they've
always.
got-
What were you
Go
gonna say?
ahead. No, you go.
Oh, I was just
You
gonna
go.
say they're good at making seemingly simple things like complex. Throughout the
complex
album.
enough to be interesting, but
Yeah.
not so crazy that it's like inaccessible.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that about
And then
this
they
whole
do
album.
more of that stab delay thing where it's got that.
Yeah,
like,
this
boom, boom,
probably
boom,
has the most noticeable one.
boom. Yeah.
Um,
And
That's
then,
cool.
so then it breaks down to that freaking quiet part, and then you get the main riff from the beginning, but coming back, and it's got the sexiest like, it's like a gentle fuzz, but it's aggressive still, but it's just like it's not spiky. It's so smooth. It's it's creamy and freaking. Dude, it's
And
so
that-
good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that
At the end there.
frickin' creaminess leads us into Hotel 24.
Well, here's my question about Spun, real quick. The whole theme of that. Isn't that like a drug term? when you're like
being spun out.
yeah, right. That's
Yeah, I
like
guess.
being like on like hard drugs, I think. But I don't think
Maybe
he
it
means it
could
like
be
that.
like-
If he's mentioning more
Why
like
don't we?
so
Why don't we
gently-
just look it up?
Like
Why don't we
just
look it up? Let's look it
spinning
up
through
right
the
now.
years.
Or like spun out in an emotional.
Spun,
sense.
Urban Dictionary. I'm gonna go Spun, Urban
Oh
Dictionary.
yeah, that's a great source.
Right there, a state of being so high on meth you believe you are making great progress on many tasks. But in
you're right
reality,
about
nothing
drugs.
gets completed. The wheels might be spinning, but you ain't going nowhere.
Or he just feels disoriented.
Yeah, I think that's probably more accurate. But
Probably
I
not
think
the
it's-
meth thing.
I think it's worth mentioning that like a lot
That's
of
what it
people
means
that
on
do-
Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, it might be like a drug thing, but I don't think it is because again, he's mentioning weed so gently.
You never know.
True,
There's some
true,
people
true,
who
you're very right.
smoke meth, and they like. I watched a documentary about this crime lab forensic fucking chemist lady who just like would just smoke the meth and like drink. Like she would take the drugs from the cabinet and like do because you needed a control and then you which is what the actual pure drug is that they have and then you needed what you were testing and she would just like do the drugs.
I hope her job doesn't drug.
She would
her.
just do them and just like and her excuse was because the drugs made her do her work better. And her work was analyzing other people who were being accused of possession of drugs. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? So you never know. I don't think he smokes meth, though. Hotel 24.
spun out a little bit.
That
there.
one's cute. That's got like the most like Mom Jeans lyrics. I can't go 24 hours without being sad. Like that's it's pretty Mom Jeans, yeah.
life.
But it's adorable and I freaking love it. It's a great song.
And I love you.
There's really good crescendos throughout the whole song. I think it demonstrates their ability to
Crescendo.
crescendo, like literally, yeah, just like dynamically.
Agreed.
Yeah, and it shows that they've got a really good handle on writing with dynamics, which is cool.
Yeah, because to be fair, dynamics aren't exploited enough in music nowadays. I
Truth.
feel like,
And you were a prime example of
we
that.
are a good. Yeah, exactly. We are guilty of that.
And then it's got that like cool. It's where you would put a bridge. It's got that like offbeat chordal part, and then they end up putting the chorus lyrics over it again, and it hits different. It's freaking cool. And then it goes straight into Contender, which for some reason reminds me of a band called El Grande from
like
Maine,
the
a
other.
ska band, but I don't know why.
I don't know why
it is.
either.
They might have had a song called The Contender.
Oh, I thought a pretender.
Yeah. Say I'm not like the others.
What if I say I'm not?
I like that song, Pretender. I think that's a good Foo Fighters song.
I think this one has a really like jazzy vocal performance. I think it's a good example of how he's got like a more jazzy tone and he's got a more jazzy note choice, and it's got another
This is
like Pool Kidsian symbol.
Little Kidsian.
part. You know what I
That's a
mean?
very
Where
good
it's got,
adjective
like-
right there.
He's got a very good like wide. So he's like all over like the stereo field.
Yeah.
He's playing more relaxing.
Drums across the board are phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
I love almost every groove that he lays down when I notice them, because I normally don't listen to the drums that much because I'm not a drummer. But when
Asterisk
I do,
when I notice them.
love,
Asterisk.
I love them. I think they sound good and they're cool and they're always interesting to me, and never what I expect to hear.
Which leads us to the
gotta pack
final song on the album, Water Rise.
Well, I think one thing about Contender, going back a
Okay,
second,
never mind. Go back to
is
that.
that's like the real like final song of the album.
And there's more
Fair enough.
Hocket. There's more Hocket, but that was just quarter notes like boom, bop, boom, bop, boom. But it's a little less aggressive. But yeah,
And I think it's a nice like closing song. And then I think of like Water Rise as like an epilogue.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, you know what? That makes more sense.
And
and that's got more
is-
of their
Yeah.
like 3-note repeating thing.
yeah,
And
Well, it's
Waterfall
6
would be the
notes, but
prologue.
they're at 6/8.
exactly.
But yeah, it's really pretty. It mirrors the first song.
And with the lyrics, it's like the exact same lyrics. So like,
Yeah.
I feel like now hearing the lyrics again, you would get like a totally different context behind it because you have the whole story
Yeah,
now.
I think it being named Water Rise kind of paints it in a little bit more of an optimistic light.
Yeah, like
Well,
it's
it
the
shows
same.
that it's a circle. It's like,
Yeah.
this is, I'm going to be okay, but I'm still going to be fucking worried about the future. And,
Yeah.
once I get over this hurdle, I'm going to be worried about the next one. And
So what happens when you smoke
The
meth?
years just keep rolling.
I'm telling you, man. The signs are there, and I'm kidding.
yeah, every day you got to wake up to a quest.
Where can I get more money from meth? That is the question every day. Every day is a side challenge.
From Shane Gillis.
What do we? What's
Well, I just
favorite song?
I like that. That's what. And then they tip their hat to Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's beautiful.
What would you rate? No, favorite song, or just you want to rate it?
Yeah,
what's your
nobody.
favorite
If
song?
you didn't say him yet,
Yeah. What's your favorite song, John?
I'd have to go with Old Soul with Eric. I like that one.
Sean.
Yeah, the detail. I love that song.
it's so good.
I'm gonna say the spun or the detail because I can't decide.
Okay, fair enough. Mine was The Softest Touch.
Interesting.
So, like,
What the fuck does that mean?
no,
I
I'm just
know,
saying
it's
like
good,
you
it's
would,
cute, and
you would
it's-
like
yeah.
the softest
Go
touch.
fuck yourselves. He screams. I liked it.
Screaming, yeah. The
Yeah,
screaming is great. There's a great build.
That's it. That's really it. I was
Yeah,
just
no,
like, I
it's,
like
Talked
this
about it
one.
before, so let me just go off
Okay.
for a second. The
No.
screaming is great. It's a great build. I love that cute little joint smoking line. He like comes across as a really cute person, like a good person throughout the lyrics. He's worried about like the world and himself in that, and I don't know. It's
Yeah,
very
no,
good.
Joe,
It's a
that's
good
cool.
fucking
It's got
song.
cute, bit crushy
Why are you
sounds.
saying it like
No,
that?
I believe you.
I love it. I love the way you're describing it.
No, I love the softest
Yeah, no,
touch too.
100%. It's a great song. I love it.
Great song.
I love the screams too. One of my favorite parts on the album.
Why are you looking at me like that? I know they can't see us, but like, how the fuck are you?
I'm looking at him pretty romantically right now.
What was your favorite, buddy?
Oh, I was with John.
Old Soul.
Old Soul, dude.
Also,
Yeah.
fair enough. Oh, that's right. You said that.
Boom, boom.
It fucking comes full circle.
2 over 3 the whole time. You really can't beat that. So what do we rate it, guys? Who are we starting? Who's got it? Who's got one?
You start. 'cause-
20.
Nah,
Oh, go ahead.
Fuck that noise. No.
Okay, you go, John.
20 coconuts.
Coconut. That's a good call. Those are from Islands.
Sean.
10. Chicken.
10. Just 10.
10 units.
Yeah.
Thinking like 15 Democratic presidential candidates.
It's a big score.
I'm gonna go with 5 possums.
I got
It's a
nothing.
solid. It's
Like
a
a
solid rating.
lot of crates of bananas.
A
A lot
I
of
don't have a
crates.
number, but like a lot of
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
All right.
How many bunches?
Guys, we appreciate you listening to us.
Thank you for watching.
If you are listening.
Yeah, this is a good album, and if you haven't heard it, you should definitely take a listen. This is one where like I'll still be listening to it next week. Like I listened to it a lot this week. It caught my ear pretty hard. So
Yeah.
check it out, and check us out too. Maybe We're
Yeah,
Shed
we
Life.
make music
Follow us on
too.
Instagram at shedlife_CT.
Subscribe to our
If
YouTube.
you are here and don't already follow us,
I'll be shocked.
Okay.
Like and subscribe.
Talking
Bye.
Sheds out.